It's good into K'Sante, it's good into the immobile Varus, but it is more of a niche pick for sure. But I'm a big Gwen hater at the Champions Level balance, so I would like to see it.
Gwen hater not because she's bad, but because you play AD carry and your life is miserable. That's fair.
She presses W, and what do? Either I go in and die, or I wait outside and die.
Yeah, so you think it would be a good pick, but you would hate to see it, is my understanding. Okay, there you go. Fair enough. So Rakan banned as well, taking away at least one more of the reliable engage/dive options, which again pairs really nicely with that Kai'Sa. What is the option here? Mbessa making it pretty late in the draft, but will still get picked up. We've obviously seen the Mbessa-K'Sante matchup a few times now in the LEC.
Yeah, I mean, Mbessa is really nice with Kai'Sa as well, and she also can easily follow up on the Vi ult, so I like that. I do wonder a bit, though, very heavy on physical damage. Could be some, like, armor stacking coming in from Rogue if they also pick a tank jungler. You have tank support, tank top, tank jungler. 5%
buff on armor penetration this patch. Armor's bad. But tanks are terrible
who's gonna buy LDR though? I guess Corki maybe, but...
Whoa, Mbessa, she just has to hit level 16 and she gets a bunch of armor pen
That's
for
true.
free.
She has a lot of free armor pen, that's true.
It's a possibility.
Rogue, that is a very...
aggressive early game jungler paired with the Rel. Rogue.
So we want to...
In terms of the formula, I like what we're seeing.
We
against a weaker bot lane, I mean, FNATIC have to swap now, right?
Yeah, this... Although, I don't think I've ever seen Mbessa in a swap situation, to be honest.
Yeah, she seems significantly worse than K'Sante.
She could start shield, I guess.
I don't know if I'm messing with the vision, so to speak, on the side of FNATIC here.
They are going to go for the... I mean, if they go for the Galio, it's a bit weird, because normally you go Galio into AP, because he's very strong into magic damage, but they're going into... Yeah, there's no way. It's Larson, to be honest.
Control mage, classic. And I like this over the Galio. We did see Galio's in the hands of SK. It can be very proactive, but it
falls off really fast.
Falls off really hard.
And it also just doesn't make sense into a middle, like 80 mid.
Yeah, you're not locking down the Kai'Sa, maybe. Ooh. A little tease, a little hover over there. But Rogue, clear identity here. Some early game power, some late game scaling from the Orianna. Generally solid what they put together, but will it be standard lanes? Will it be the swap remains the question.
I think we'll just see an Alistar here. Or a Galio. So Galio with Vi is very nice, because she can always go in way deeper, because she has the Galio ult follow through. But Alistar is like the easier option.
Galio it is.
They go for the Galio. It's a really cool combo. I think they can do a lot with it if they execute it well. And they have at
the pace. We get our first game of the day. Rogue versus FNATIC. 1-2 versus 2-1. Only 3 games into our 9-game regular season. Doesn't seem like a lot, but obviously depending on how you exit week 2, week 3 either becomes very chill or do or die. So see how these teams shape up.
Yeah, this is an interesting week, because like if Rogue loses a few more games, then suddenly this feels incredibly stressful. While if FNATIC wins, it's like, you know, you're not made it through yet, but it feels pretty damn good.
3-1 feels pretty good, right? If you just win out this week, not that this week is easy by any means for FNATIC, but you're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
You locked playoffs, I'm pretty sure. 5 wins? Yeah.
Yeah, 5 wins lock playoffs. And it looks like, so it looks like it's going to be the swap here. We have Kai'Sa and Galio going up towards top. Probably, my prediction is Mbessa is going to be farming with Corki. Oh, a little wiggle.
No wiggle. Heck yeah. We know what the people like.
It looks like Mbessa's maybe going to farm with the Vi instead of getting next gun mid.
I know about a caster curse, but you guys did just cheer Marek Braz's name. If he dies now, it's definitely your fault. That's all I'm saying. But he's alive.
They're matching the swap, but they're kind of late on the... Patrick is... What? This is very awkward, because now FNATIC is doing a really nice play here where they can just hard push this, and Patrick will catch most of the XP, but this kind of neutralizes any advantage you would have in the lane, because now...
I mean, level 1 is just supposed to be essentially playable, right?
Now FNATIC bot lane is just kind of chilling, and they should just maintain push, because they can get level 2 first as well. So, but since how he's on top side of the map, while Vi is bot side, so it's still very scary for FNATIC to fight here. It's a very interesting situation, to be honest.
A bit of an awkward exchange. FNATIC going to be fast to the level 2 here. Right, as expected, at least. Getting pushed early on, the Gatling gun doing a lot of work to take control. But
very curious to see how Malrang paths here. If he wants to just match Vi's camps, or if he actually wants to try to make something happen on top. But it looks like FNATIC bot lane is just maintaining the push, but without any vision, they should start to feel scared of Xin Zhao and probably have to drop the push soon.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit awkward. It'd be so much easier for Rogue if they had started in a neutral wave state to just zone them away, which is the power that those two champions have. Level 1, Humanoid getting aggressive on level 3 might cost him as Malrang Coming around the corner. Not sure if the ward that they had, the ward they had in the jungle was already gone. Humanoid playing to the bottom side. Well spotted, but a W flash goes in from Malrang. Clean mechanics flash out from Humanoid, but he's already slowed. It's a little bit awkward. He's getting walked down. That extra movement speed.
You can't reach him.
Oh. Blast coming out.
W?
Oh, makes it. No, first blood. That's on you, FNATIC fans. You cursed him. That's all I'm saying. You shook the butt. You said Marek Brosda, he died. Correlation might not be causation, but you're taking the blame. Razork, though, turning it back. This one's also you, FNATIC fans, if he can find the kill. Knock up there.
Fine.
That was an incredibly awkward sequence.
I mean, I was really surprised that Humanoid
didn't flash the wall?
Well, also that he didn't expect the gank. I feel like Orianna's walking straight at you. Like, see here. Okay, we didn't get to see it, but Orianna's walking at you with no spells. I feel like he's kind of setting up the fact that
he can't make it to the wall.
A gank is coming.
Yeah.
So for me, I would think that Humanoid would recognize that Malrang is going to be looking, but...
And of course, you're not getting away from that last Zinzao W wind becomes lightning. You're caught in the Valkyrie animation. And he knows where you're going to land, so... Get awkward.
Nice W.
Nice W, though. Credit to Malrang. You said you wanted to see that early aggression. This isn't necessarily the form I expected it to take, but it does work out as Mickey.
This is really nice by Execute holding the wave here. This should result in a decent CS lead for Varus. I don't think he can actually kill him. Oh, he's igniting. Well, I don't think he can kill him, but... That was a nice attempt.
Does definitely a nice attempt. Reset now coming in. Map in a pretty neutral state despite the Humanoid early kill. See if Malrang can kind of leverage any of the power he got from getting that first blood gold to at least clear the jungle a bit faster, be more active on the map. Has not slowed Razork down. That was one of the things you called out in Champ Select. Hasn't been able to do that. Did obviously impact his lanes, but hasn't been able to stop the Vi from quickly getting to that level 6 yet.
Yeah, I think Razork, to be honest, is pretty happy because his bot lane is not bleeding too bad, and he's actually able to just clear his camps normally. Didn't have to interact with Zinzao at all, but we got a player from Malrang.
Upset?
Probably have to use flash, but I don't think more than that.
Quick flash out.
Nice little sidestep
yeah,
on
nice
the W.
Sidestep. Well played. But even getting that flash, right, this is something we talked, like post level 6, things get a little bit easier for Upset. Mickey might try to get involved there.
But Malrang's tempo is really ruined here. Should fall behind quite a bit now. Vi just got a free recall off during this timing.
Whoa.
Well, Vi's actually gonna look to...
Lane phase is rough for Adam on the bot side though, but it might not matter. Taunt going in, forcing the flash out from Patrick. Vi now coming in, the Q flash to complete. Patrick gonna be in trouble here, a little bit of damage. They get the barrier at least. Summoner spells traded Patrick. Barrier
really good flash
alive.
by Execute there. He flashed the flash prediction of Razork. It looks maybe a bit troll from Razork to just flash on the Varus, but it was because he was aiming for the Rel, but the Rel actually preemptively flashes it. It was really nice.
Overall, good look topside. Right, it starts off with Upset being forced to burn flash, but they are able to turn it back.
This is so good by FNATIC. Varus is so sad right now. He's losing so many waves. Having to recall there.
I love that you kept your pro player voice. Where you just like inhale and speak and say,
oh, it's like I've experienced that where it's like, you know, you're winning lane and then jungler comes and you get chunked and then you gotta recall like all the way down to your tier 2 because they just keep zoning you. Oh, it's painful.
Yeah, it does hurt.
And they get the groves. Oof.
Kai'Sa's can't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, it's
Kai'Sa's keep making it out of lane phase unscathed.
She does have really good fighting power, but normally what you'd want is you could just kind of keep taking short trades and poking her down, but you gotta fight her on groves.
All right.
Gonna get 2 and then run out, yeah.
In terms of feats of strength, of course, Rogue did pick up first blood. You're not currently seeing it on the HUD, but they do have
it's
1
3 kills
of the 2.
now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so HUD a little bit delayed here in terms of overall updates. So 3 kills. First blood was for Malrang.
It lights up, I think, when you get the 3 kills, maybe not? Because right now it's gray.
Oh, it's 3 kills now. Yeah, you're right. So
and also, they didn't get the objective because you need 3 grubs.
This is the homies in the thing. There you go.
Beautiful.
First blood, now it's first 3 kill. Well, you know what?
Yeah. Well, you get it.
I thought they were going to bail me out of my own foolishness, but perhaps not. So closer and closer. Kind of keep you updated on the status of the HUD.
Would be fun if Patrick went Yuntal, because you know Doublelift has been going this like Yuntal Varus build, and it got buffed. I think it's really bad, but it's like a crit Varus build that he's.
So wait, why did you bring it up?
Because it would be fun.
Did you just try to use Doublelift clout?
No.
Justify
because Yuntal got buffed, and I wanted to talk about it. But no ADC should buy Yuntal this game. It's like not good on either.
Yeah, it's not the Yuntal situation. Level 6 there. Double level 6 point and clicks. They're gonna take the time. Execute. You can't get out of this. Oscar can ult to finish the kill, but he might take his time. Ult's back through. Patrick now gonna be a little bit in trouble. Q available. Patrick unfazed thus far.
Let's see, Patrick.
The public execution. place. And I mean, the difficult thing for Patrick now is he has to be incredibly careful. The next Q coming in from Razor could be death, but with no flash to extend the range.
To cancel. Tried to cancel Razor base. Good idea. This kind of feels pretty bad for FNATIC. No, I mean for Rogue, because you're actually playing like the 2v1 against Oscar and you're hoping to punish him. But a really good gank by Razor just means that one, Oscar is bailed out and he gets a kill on top of it.
Yeah, and he was already doing a lot in terms of pressure. He has consistently had prio over the Cassante in the early game, which again, given the amount of AoE in Abyss's kit, isn't super surprising. See if they can maintain that though, as Adam's now in trouble. The plasma stacks here are brutal. And I will say I like the appearance of Kai'Sa in a world where tanks are so strong just because of that passive. For similar reasons why I like Varus too, at least on hit.
I mean, the problem with Kai'Sa against tanks is that she's so low range and that she'd rather play fights kind of quickly with her ulti.
Yeah.
But once you get to like 5, 6 items and you get high AP numbers, you do actually start to kind of one-shot people with the enhanced W into a 5 passive proc.
Passive proc strong. Again,
looks like Smork. Passive proc strong.
Passive proc strong. Yeah, I just wanted to help, but I didn't really have anything else to contribute, so I just said the same words you did, but less of them. For effect is what I'll say. Maybe I was thinking about something else. You'll never know. Drake taken down. Okay, so 1 of 3 in terms of overall objectives. Again, for the feats of strength, as the grubs have split up, don't really count. And we're in. We said pace. We talked about big pace. We talked about how fast can FNATIC play. Rogue are needing to match that speed, but it still has been a relatively chill game. Some good looks from both sides. A lot of activity in terms of junglers getting involved in lanes, but only 2 kills when it comes down to it.
It's like medium pace, I feel like. It could have been really low pace if they just full lane swapped and didn't match each other, but because they actually match each other, there was some 2v2 going on, some fighting, but not too much. I think overall, FNATIC are the ones more happy with this. I do like the scaling side of Larssen and Patrick with their carries, but Vi getting to 6 for level 3 just feels so good.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. And again, the access to backline here from FNATIC can be difficult against the Cassante, the Rel, Xin, etc., but it's really not impossible when you have the Vi plus the Galio. You've got the Ambessa too. Really difficult for Rogue to protect those backline carries as we get later into the game if you do want to go for something like front to back.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to definitely see like a defensive build on Orianna with the Arcane just probing into Zonias. And then on Patrick, probably we'll see like shield, like Rage, what am I saying? Blade of the Ruined King into Rage Blade, into then more defensive items as well. But they are both immobile carries, so even with these tools, it shouldn't be too hard for FNATIC to find good looks.
Yeah, and I think this is a situation where, you know, the Xin, if all of Rogue's frontliners are diving in, Patrick's in a much worse position than Upset, for example, because while Upset is lower range, Kai'Sa can just go 2. Yeah, kind of the beauty of the pick. Second grubs, though, now being started.
Larssen is bot, but he has TP. So they could look to contest this, but Larssen needs to TP quickly. Ooh, this is a really good turn on Malrang.
Malrang is just going to get 1 shot. Tries to buy a bit more space. Razor caught out. That ulti's still keeping alive. Mickey's going to arrive, but it's a little bit too late. Execute. Also able to escape. It's FNATIC who've overplayed their hands, but still are going to have control of the objective for now. Humanoid needs to walk away. They're down in Bessa ult. Razor not in the fight. They should just have to concede these grubs. Good call out by Rogue. It starts off a little bit shaky, but because Malrang is able to survive, they convert it incredibly to just grabbing all of this.
Yeah, wow. That was just really well played by Malrang. It looked so close, and if he gets 1 shot, then it's a completely different outcome, but it ends up being 3 grubs for 3 grubs, and Rogue is pretty happy with this.
Yeah. So neither side gets the benefit or the buff towards the objective completed, I believe, but 3 for 3 not bad. You need to get all 3, I think, for it to count. Yeah.
But they both have 3, technically.
Is it per spawn? This is where I'd have to have someone double check
me. So it looks like, I would think, Malrang is going to get 1 shot here. It looks like a really good turn, but they don't layer the CC chain completely perfectly. So he survives with 100 HP, and that makes such a big difference, as then it's suddenly Vi that's the one actually getting caught out, and they don't really have the damage anymore to kill anybody.
Well, this is the other thing, just call it to Adam there as well. He's eating so much damage. Both he and Malrang kind of absorb a ton of cooldowns and are able to walk away from the fight unscathed, while the rest of Rogue are the people who kind of bring those kills home and convert the play. It's the 2 of them. I mean, we say creating space a bit too much now. I think it's like too much in our brains, but they make a lot of space. They just could, like, not enough damage on the side of FNATIC to finish them off, and Adam doesn't really have anything other than steel caps yet in terms of itemization.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah. 5-6 item Kai'Sa, you said it. 5-6 item Kai'Sa with a lot of AP.
Guys, just give me 50 minutes and I can kill him.
If any team could give him 50 minutes, Rogue would be that team. Has experience in that realm. But I like the aggression already. I like that Adam and Malrang were both kind of on the same page at the start of the Grubs as well. Adam was kind of, I think, generating advantages for Rogues in week 1, but was often kind of in his own way, on his own side lane, drawing a lot of attention.
Yeah, we haven't really seen like the stereotypical Adam where he's picking these really aggressive champions and doing that much. I feel like it's been more like a kind of weak side neutered Adam where he's picking a little bit of Renekton, a little bit Cassandra, and he's still doing well, but he's not quite playmaking as much as I feel like we've been used to him seeing.
Yeah, we got a little bit in that first game versus Team Herald. That game was weird though for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, can't really say much about that.
Yeah, true. But there's at least a Garen in there, as now Oscar's trying to pull back.
Adam looks for the
2v2, a lot of burst damage here. I think Adam just dies. Yep. Okay, a bit of a miscalculation there. Malrang's caught up as well. A bit of revenge for the previous play. This time Razork and Oscarinen were ready. Turns out completing their items.
You can see what Adam was looking for there. He was trying to get the Cassandra W into the ulti over the wall into tower. It's like classic Cassandra cheese. But once you don't get that, now you're a Cassandra without W, your biggest defensive tool, and you just get one-shot. And then Sinsao without flash, also one-shot. It's a disaster. They get first tower as well.
I mean, you hit all those cooldowns too, and the thing is, in the previous play, you were eating those cooldowns, you walked away alive, and then the rest of your team got to fight without the fear of those two ultimates. This was not the case this time around. 1.5k gold lead for FNATIC. 3 kills completed in terms of the feats of strength. Tower now coming through as well. Bit of extra movement speed. Our HUD this week is showing the updated boots.
Here. I think he might catch Patrick and execute. Oh my goodness.
That's maybe not the ideal title. Mickey has now been spotted. The flanker has become the flanked. Mickey in trouble, but the aftershock is still ticking. It's going to buy him a bit more space. Not enough to keep him standing, though. Upset goes to the team. That's absolutely not what you want. Upset!
Patrick flash Q.
Okay.
He listened.
Did listen. Middle there, big.
Both ADCs, they're kind of...
The upset haters are confused. They know that that was questionable, but the copy pasta doesn't work, so they're not sure what to put on Reddit. But I like the aggression again. FNATIC, aggressive as we expected in week 1. The question was, what were we going to do when someone contested them? I did not expect that team to be Rogue, but Rogue are contesting them. They were super close to finding that flank like you talked about, but the second they spotted Mickey, they did a really good job converting.
I liked the Mickey flank, but I feel like Razork wasn't really looking to follow it up. It looked a little bit more like Razork is trying to start the Drake. Like he walks away from Mickey, or he's not trying to start the Drake, he's just kind of scared, but he's not in range now to follow Mickey up. And Upset's like, we gotta go. We gotta go. And we also gotta go here.
We gotta go back to see if Larson can get out of this one. The answer is no. This is the no counterplay to
Didn't see the Galil.
Mickey from the sky with the steel chair. He wasn't even needed. He just came for the assist.
From downtown, baby.
And I will say, look, this FNATIC composition, they're doing what it's supposed. This is what it's supposed to do on paper. When you see this in draft, this is the thing. If you see that on the enemy team that you're scared of, and FNATIC are doing the thing. Now Oscar also level 11, so ticking up more healing, more armor penetration, which is gonna make Adam's life more difficult, and now potentially the dive as well.
You got the Corki TP.
Q3 and the Cassandra W is big. Well, this is the thing. They got the W out early, so.
Gets the flash. I mean, they're gonna get the tower. They don't wave. Oh, they're gonna get the tower, I think. Yeah, that dies pretty fast. I mean, it's TP for a tower. Feels pretty good for FNATIC, but it is gonna give the Herald over to Rogue. What I do really like from FNATIC here, though, is after they make kind of a bad play on the Drake and give it up, they just immediately go back into it, you know? They don't, a lot of teams, when they make a bad play, they don't sulk, but they take their time to actually make another play. While FNATIC, really fast on the trigger, make another play, keep the proactivity up, keep the aggression up, and it's nice.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that teams, you highlighted, struggle to do, right? So you lose a little bit of confidence, you lose your place on the map when you do go back to
your
Fountain,
support
that
sitting and it's like, guys, what's next objective?
Hard to
nobody
keep focus.
answers.
I think the question now for Rogue, though, they're still at a massive gold deficit. What are they going to do with this Herald? And what does the setup for Atakhan look like? I've confirmed it is voracious Atakhan
4 people
spawning,
up here.
But humanoid.
They're using the Herald like this? This is a bit strange.
You should be able to just break this tower.
Yeah, but you usually don't use Herald for tier 1 on sides. You'd rather use it for mid.
Are they close to item completion? Are they hoping just a little bit more gold gets them over the threshold?
I don't know, but they're cooking a bit. Now their tempo is a bit ruined. I don't want to be too negative, but I think this is kind of bad.
Yeah. Well,
they do get the tower,
certainly
but
not the strongest use of Herald, right?
Yeah.
At the very least. And now someone is going to need to respond to Oscar and the game.
The thing is, usually you want to use the Herald to break mid, because when you break mid, then you get mid prio, and then you move to sides with that mid prio.
Yeah.
But when you break side, you can also then get side prio and move to mid. It's just a little bit more awkward, and it's easier to get caught.
Mid is just the most defensible tower in the game, right? It's really hard to catch your opponents not in mid lane. And also, I guess they're going for Atakhan, which is, a new feature.
That's true. It is spawning on top, right?
It is spawning on top. We're going to keep bringing up because it's the one that we cast, and also I think one of the most memorable games of the season so far were just that knife's edge, right? They were so close. But again, it is Voracious Atakhan. Reminder, if you're completely new to Atakhan, he gives you fake GA buff, so when you die for the next 2.5 minutes, you go back to spawn after a couple seconds, and then you're just right back on the map. So you still go back to base if you have TP. That graphic was really quick. But the only change that matters to all of you who know what Voracious Atakhan does is now you get 200 gold if you're the enemy team playing against that buff, and you do successfully kill but not kill your opponent. So bit more of a reward for the team facing that buff. Does not stop how insanely powerful that buff is, though.
Yeah, and I want to bring up something completely different. Kaisa build, very interesting. I would expect to see Static Shiv because you want to get more magic damage, but he went for Kraken Slayer, which is, a lot more physical damage, and he's probably going to go Rage Blade second and then Nasher third, which means that until you really get third item, you're going to be doing pretty much only like physical damage nearly, and you see on the side of Rogue, tabby. I mean, Plated Steel Cap, sorry. Plated Steel Cap Nation.
I don't know what that was, but we're just going to pretend that didn't happen and move on with our lives. All right, Plated Steel Caps. You can just call them Tabby. You don't have to apologize. Like, the balance team is going to come. Well, I'm sure that most of them are just different now.
Well, they're broke.
They're broke and they're strong. Unending Despair, too. The Arm Guard as well. I think the good news for FNATIC in terms of team fighting damage output is you have double Black Cleavers at the very least, so...
They don't stack, though.
They don't stack. No. But, well, they do stack, but they don't stack. You're not getting double value, but you can't stack.
That would be crazy.
That would be insane. Like, we had basically had that situation back in season 3.
You could literally stack them in your inventory.
Just stack
League of Black Cleavers.
So at least they're mitigating some of the upfront armor, but it's not going to mitigate the value of second item Zhonya's, of more armor items coming for Adam.
Yeah, you can see the second item Zhonya's from Larson. I think for me, if I'm FNATIC right now, the only real engaged target I have is kind of Patrick, because it's going to be really hard to get onto this Orianna. If Vi ults her, she Zhonya's. If you go on Sin, he ults. If you go on Kazanta, I mean, that's a nightmare. So we'll see how Patrick plays these fights.
Option going to be set up around the Drake, seems to be the focus for FNATIC. Humanoid catching top, but backing away, ready to TP if needed.
It's going to be a free Drake for FNATIC here. Not really any cross map happening either on Rogue's side, though. They just put down some vision topside for the Atakhan spawn. And I'm probably going to look to push out bot here with Orianna so that they can have first move from bot all the way to Atakhan. It's going to be kind of the goal.
I mean, and we've seen kind of how, based on how strong Atakhan is, I could see sacrificing an objective to get vision set up on Atakhan.
But this is so strange from Rogue, because they're not actually pushing out bot, and now they lost all their vision topside, or most of their vision. And Orianna is in a weird position where she's now matching the Mbessa, so she can't walk up for waves. You can see Mbessa's just getting every wave. Kind of a missed opportunity here from Rogue. I would want to see them to get that deep push, just escort Orianna, or have Kazanta bot. And that way, I mean, they are swapping now.
Does anyone answer Mbessa on side at this point in the game, though? That would be my question to the top lane enthusiasts out there. Because you've got 20% passive armor pen from ranks in your ulti. You've also got Black Cleaver. You have Sustain because of your ulti. And while Kazanta is certainly very, very tanky...
I've seen Kazanta do things that should not be done.
That's true.
But I don't think he'll match Mbessa, no.
Just a reminder, never forget he is still Kazanta.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't forget. Any other champion with that inventory might not look too scary, but Kazanta does.
There you go. Unending Despair, I guess, does balance out some of the healing discrepancy. FNATIC, though, setting up around the objective. This is...
You can see how good setup they have. They have full control.
And this is so awkward because, again, the thing that Rogue traded, when we talk about cross maps, even though it wasn't a traditional cross map, was control of topside, which they've now immediately conceded the next time the FNATIC had mid push. So it is just a bit of an awkward sequence from Rogue. Now they're finally getting bot push,
and
but there's no objective.
A lot of these like more mid-tier teams or lower table teams, a lot of them, they struggle with like lane assignments. So this was like a prime example where they weren't able to get the deep push going bot because Orianna can't play against Mbessa, and they lost push top because Corki wins against Kazanta. So you put yourself in a situation where you have two losing sides, so no matter where the support jungle goes, they're just sitting there like, oh, what do we do now?
A bit of brute forcing happening through mid, though. 5 members here from Rogue.
Yeah, but...
I mean, it's just awkward because they have pushed there for a second, but Execute doesn't actually have any wards, so they don't really get much vision down. It's still not easy for Fnatic to thread through Atakhan. It's still risky to start it.
The problem now is that the cycle will repeat itself. Oscarinen will get a deep push on bot, then someone on Rogue will have to catch bot, and then Fnatic will get full control of Atakhan again, and I could see that this time is where they actually choose to start this Atakhan up.
I mean, TPs, sums, everything's up and available. Checking item completions. I mean, 2 items.
Got him some hours, yeah.
For Rogue.
Oh.
Fnatic haven't gotten the reset yet, I assume, to spend their money.
Yeah, I mean, Upset should be close. He's on 400 gold, but I would presume that soon he can sell his refillable and get his Rage Blade going as well.
Maybe he can upgrade and get the Gunmetal Greaves. Your favorite item.
Oh, yeah. I hope he doesn't get that.
The hatred in your voice just brings me a little bit of joy. So Fnatic, again, I think first to the area. Now maybe we're in a situation where once Baron spawns, we see kind of the classic where Fnatic aren't so far ahead that they can just force the objective, but they might be able to start it first and at the very least get a TP out of Rogue, play the incremental advantage game of League of Legends. Not the explosive game we were expecting, even though there was a little bit more aggression.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be kind of this like slow standoff trying to gain some sort of priority on the Atakhan, but it's really hard for either team to really start it, and kind of both teams are just fishing for a pick, because all you need is 1 kill, and then you kind of feel, okay, we can start the Atakhan now. But if you don't get that armor pen on it, and the magic pen, and just the damage the Atakhan does, is just too scary.
I mean, we saw in the G2 BDS game is a great example where Nuke gets that shockwave onto 4 people. And you might have been surprised by how much damage it did, but a big part of that was the Atakhan debuff, which is just shredding that MR. So by the time it does connect, even though I can't exactly recall, I think 2.5 items, maybe 2-item Orianna. It looks like he's a 4-item Orianna.
I remember actually, it was this exact Orianna build. It was Archangel Sonius. You'd think he'd do like peanut damage, and then he's just one-shotting them.
Yeah, it turns out when the enemy has no MR, any build will hit like a truck. Yeah. So have to respect the Atakhan debuff. I don't think Atakhan himself or itself does that much damage, compared to some other objectives. But
really, I think it does the most.
I mean, it does a good amount, but I mean, it's like you're fine if you have a tank.
I mean, Nash does more, I guess.
My concern is the armor shred, I think is the point I'm getting to. The armor and MR shred.
Yeah.
Now, again, classic. It's Rogue fighting for a turn as AD carries battle for mid-prio, which Forest would win in a lot of circumstances, but Patrick kind of just threw a poke arrow.
Yeah, we got the Drake spawning, and Fnatic have full control over it. Mickey's on a bit of a crazy flank here.
Trying to back away, taunt there, extra slow from Celestial opposition. They can't just chase him down. Taking their time. Cross map coming from the rest of the team. They're starting up the Drake. Mickey now trying to ult out to safety, and he's out!
And they get the Drake.
Herald Houdini. We're not going to say planned because Rogue now have first access to Atakhan and all of Fnatic are a mile away. This could be a big problem.
They only use the Rel ult, and it's a 45. And Bess is basing and needs the TP. They might be able to finish this before.
You're right, Atakhan does a ton of damage, I'm wrong.
Okay, but there are 5 people hitting it.
Rogue grouped, trying to keep the fight going. Excellent use of the shockwave. Combo from Malrang and Larson. That old synergy coming back. But now Atakhan resetting. Bit awkward here. Razor's still in the area. All of Rogue trying to zone him away. Carry's still there. Smite still there from Malrang. Taking their time trying to shred through. Adam W is able to buffer out. Objective's going to get taken down. Now the withdrawal coming through right in the nick of time. That's infuriating for the side of Fnatic. They're going to catch Razor out as well. Rogue. I mean, they paved the road to victory for themselves with this buff. Let's see what else they can get. Baron certainly first on the table, and now Fnatic desperate to get anything back. Just want to shove these waves, get anything they can to stop the Baron-Atakhan combo from turning everything against them.
Malrang is back, baby. That was a beautiful turn.
That was excellent.
Oh, they're trying to contest.
Oscar in on the backside. They're trying to send Adam backpacking.
Upset does no damage. What's this
doesn't do any damage. No one is there to shred the armor for him.
He just did 15 autos to this
TP in. It's a little bit late. Baron is already down. Humanoid running. Recalls coming in.
That's a bit of a like desperation turn, because they didn't want a desperation contest. Because at first, after this fight, Upset's going mid. Okay, let's see the actual fight. Oh, such a good turn.
That's just a good combo.
Yeah.
He just laid on the Valk out. He had flash.
Yeah.
By the time that first piece of CC hits, it's over, of course, but you
can't really flash it, because it's just the auto attack from the Sinsa. You need to just be out of range or flash like preemptively. And really good space creation here by Adam as well to keep Razork out. And then it looks like FNATIC just wants to drop the Nash. They just go mid. And I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna drop the Nash. But then they still decide to contest. But now Upset's like kind of far away from Mickey. And then look at the Kasanta champ. Why he doesn't take damage?
He does take damage. It takes a long time, and he shields more than 4 Upset auto attacks.
Actually, if Upset auto and then ult for the auto reset, he could kill him. But I mean, it wouldn't even kill him. It's the Atakhan, but
You could send him back to base and get your 200 gold consolation prize. Okay, well, good news for FNATIC is there's 800 gold worth of GA buffs that could be picked up. Bad news is enemy has Baron and 800 gold worth of GA buffs, so...
Yeah, curious to see how much Rogue can get with this Nash and Atakhan.
I mean, we talked about FNATIC as being the team that was really good at pushing their leads. Now Rogue are the ones in control, and we'll have to see if they can replicate the same success that FNATIC had in week 1 and really push this to its limit. Because if we do just go back to scaling and sitting back, FNATIC will be able to at least get into a much more favorable situation. This is about as bad as it could possibly get.
For me, if I'm Rogue, my definition of success with these 2 objectives is getting an inhibitor. I really want to break an inhibitor in 1 lane, and if I can do that, that means I use the buff well. If we're only getting tier 2s with both Atakhan and Nash, I feel like it's a bit too little.
A bit awkward. Gonna need to see the team really push the limit, right? Get aggressive if they need to. Adam and Larson both have TP, so you can't have the situation when they return to the fight.
They are facing here. I mean, they're gonna look to... it looks like it's only gonna be playing for 2, like all 3 tier 2s, because now they're gonna rotate, they're gonna put a person on mid, they're gonna put 4 people bot, they're gonna get this tier 2 on bot.
They get Dragon as an exit play, which at least gets them something.
And it's not bad, it's a big gold injection, but I think like when you have both of these buffs, I want to see a dive. I want to see the game break open, you know? Take some risks. It's Rogue time.
It was also tough because Rogue are now setting up on mid. Bot is pushed in so far because no one was there to contest Oscar, because again, they're setting up that play topside ready to force if they need to. And now I don't even know if that wave is going to hit tower.
They might not even be able to play for tier 2 bot, because Oscar got that deep push. Would have wanted to see someone go bot beforehand. Now Adam wants to base and catch this top wave against Corki, because Corki has a bit faster tempo. It's a bit awkward. Doesn't look like they'll play for the tier 2.
And this is why I feel like one of the best things you can do if someone ever has, I mean Baron generally, but certainly Atakhan Baron, is just deep shove in whatever lane you're not contested in, just to cut off or slow down at least 1 lane that the team can play around.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wonder how like crazy teams will be with this buff by the end of the split, once they have had more time to like test it out, to figure out the limits. Because I mean, in theory,
I feel like you should play it a bit like an Elder, in the sense that you should be willing to take plays that you never normally would. Like, go for that dive, go for that play, you know?
Especially when you've already taken Baron, because there's nothing on the map the enemy team can meaningfully get back.
Even if you get sent 5 people to base, okay, they get to out-push waves. They don't even get anything.
We'll see. The teams get more aggressive. We've seen kind of the full, I would say, spectrum of potential Atakhan buffs, or voracious Atakhan buffs, because we've never really seen the other one. Which is, you know, we've seen the instant game end with Baron, and we've seen kind of it do very little.
Yeah.
At the least you still keep the permanent 40 additional gold per kill buff.
Yeah. This is going to be FNATIC cross-mapping the Drake here. Don't think they can play for tier 2. Adam is a bit too tanky.
I also just think this is the part of the game where it gets a bit more difficult. Patrick is going to get tankier, still has the on-hit build, so still going to do a lot of work on the tanking line. The good news is Upset has the AP you were talking about. Bad news is Larson has a death cap.
It feels pretty good to be Rogue right now, I think, because you can just keep stacking armor. Like, even your ADC can buy armor, your mid can buy armor. Everybody can buy armor, you know?
Yeah, this is a tricky one to navigate side of FNATIC.
I don't think they really want to go for team fights at this point. I think you kind of want to look for picks with like bio.
You have the tools, right? We saw that was their entire
pick on side, like Kai'Sa pushes mid, moves to bot, like we saw Noah do, would be really nice from him. And just kind of looking for these like isolated, small skirmishes, not really big team fights. Because Kasanta's not dying right now.
It's also tough because all it takes is one member of Rogue, other than probably Execute, to misstep for that kind of play to work, which does, I wouldn't say makes it favoring FNATIC, but everyone on your team not falling prey to that single mistake, to that single misposition is a tall task for any 5 players.
You can see FNATIC was looking for that play as Kai'Sa tried to go bot and Corki caught the mid wave, but Adam is playing well.
Just look at this 3-man
fully respecting.
They're just roaming. Good reset.
Also important to note that Corki did buy the LDR, which is buffed, so it's 40% now. That is a lot of percentage pen.
A lot of pen.
They got a lot of armor as well, you know?
Yeah, this is an interesting I mean, it's just weird because we know, like, the general consensus, I feel, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, you play more solo queue than I do. Tanks are OP, that seems to be, even if people aren't playing them as much. And FNATIC seem to really be trying to support the balanced team and the idea that 5% armor pen is the difference, is enough. At least with the composition.
Let's see how much damage they do to Adam.
The answer is not a lot, but they might be able to do a lot of damage to Patrick. Instant combo going in. Mickey trying to buy a bit more space. Oscar in relatively untouched. Humanoid now free to follow up. Rogue already lost the fight. All it took. No one really even had to be out of position. They just needed to get in range, and FNATIC were able to find that pick, but now the turn. Adam's still ready to go all out. His damage about to fade away. Execute. This is not the angle you're looking for, but Larson also using Shockwave there.
They're gonna look to start the Nash. They don't have Orion ult, don't have any ult other than Rel.
Flash from Mickey. Flash backwards Justice Punch maybe to try and catch somebody.
Since I was not here, I don't think they can do much. They're gonna have to drop the Nash.
And again, we said this a minute ago. If they find the pick, I expected it to be isolated member pushing side. I did not expect it to be a single kill in the context of a 5v5.
Patrick, come on. Your tank isn't taking any damage. Why are we walking up? It's a really nice engage by FNATIC, but when your tank is this tanky, you need to let him create that space. Let him tank for you. You know, you can't just walk up, then you're gonna die.
Baited perhaps into a false sense of security, seeing how little damage Adam took. Now has a few more tanky items of his own on the side of Patrick.
It's a classic, to be honest, when you start to get like tank items like he has on Varus, that you think to yourself, oh, I'm tanky now, I'm strong. But then you're not tanky, buddy.
Not tanky.
You're getting one shot.
Harsh realization. Upset now level 16, almost to that death cap. A bit more money, but has the components. And this is where, I mean, the thing is you have to hit the Kaisa W, but like, the poke is just going to be so difficult for them to deal with, and they don't really have the range to match. Not that I think Upset on his own is enough poke to zone Rogue off of objectives, but it is going to force their hand at least a little bit. As for now, they're trying to defend the tier 2 bot side.
Kaisa W is starting to hurt a little bit more. It's still not monumental, like you said, but they're going to get a lot of gold with this Nash buff, and they might even be able to get Kaisa onto that Rabadon, and then her damage really goes crazy.
All right, tier 1, tier 2 in mid lane. There's still a tier 2 top side, and this tower with just a blinking health bar. Oscar still probably, I think, you know, doesn't want to play for another wave because the rest of the team is backing away, even though they'd probably be able to take the tier 2, don't want to risk overextending and getting caught. Any one of them dies, you probably lose the remaining minute and 20 seconds of this Baron buff.
It does feel a bit bad, though, that they're not able to break that tier 2 bot, because now they have to kind of ask themselves, do we go back to bot? Do we try to go top?
They don't need to.
Yeah, but you're kind of sad about that too, because now you don't get the local gold, and it's like 500 gold. So, it'll be a negative Nancy, but
I think you might be a negative Nancy.
When you see tower local gold go to waste, it hurts a man.
Look, you know, Upset already had the death cap, doesn't need it. Donation to the cannon minion is what we'll say.
That's true. I mean, they're on 4 items on Ambessa, Corki, and Kaisa. That's kind of crazy.
Adam gonna spot Razork. Razork was not gonna push his cooldowns on Adam, but they might now.
He's just dead.
Chain CC, Adam likely to burn here, still living for an additional second. Now the turn coming back, Larson doing everything he can in his power. The Shockwave already came out, but so many blinking health bars locked up. Another connection from the Varus ultimate. Humanoid retreating, Oscar retreating.
Really good save by Execute, but doesn't actually end up resulting in anything. The soul for FNATIC here.
Willing to contest.
They have an Ambessa TP flank from behind. It's a really good flank from Mickey here.
TP in. He's ready to go over the wall. Could just come down to the 50-50. Chemsoul will be big in a game like this. Ulti right onto Patrick. Immediate combo going through. Upset knows that Larson has no shockwave, but he is not a threat. Oscar keeping the damage coming out. Patrick really just can't auto any target. He's just not in range. He can't get anything done. The entire team is split. The Varus unable to do anything. The carries isolated, taken out of the equation, but at the very least, Malrang will steal the Drake with the fight. Oh, they can't steal that one back. That one belongs to FNATIC.
Are they gonna end? They have both wave.
TP bot.
But Larson TPs.
Good read from Larson.
Clear the wave. They have one more wave coming. Only caster minion. I don't think they can end. Wait, 40 seconds? Actually. It's gonna be close. I'm trying to like calculate it.
Let us know when you reach a conclusion, Mr. Spectra.
I think they might be able to end.
I think they might be able to end too. Wave on the way in.
It's gonna be really close though.
20
Larson
seconds.
has ulti.
Execute.
But Razork also has ulti. He has no flash, no Sonias either.
Ball placed, Larson staying just on the edge of the range. Could just ult the wave, but then I think you lose the ensuing fight.
It's too hard.
Flash in, Larson locked up, double ulties once again. The Vi, the Mbessa together doing too much work, but Razork about to fall to the tower.
Oh?
Execute still here? 10 seconds, 6 seconds. No, there's no way. Humanoid just needs to hit the objective. Execute doing everything he can in his power, and in the end, FNATIC coming out on top, 3-1. Taking down Rogue.
GG.
An exceptionally odd